Good evening, faculty, families, friends, and most importantly, the class of 2026. My name is Jackson Morin, and it is truly an honor to welcome you all to tonight's graduation ceremony. On behalf of the class of 2026, I want to begin with taking a moment to thank the people who made this night possible. To our teachers, thank you for the time, patience, and effort you put into us every day. You didn't just teach us subjects, you helped shape how we think, how we work, and how we handle challenges. A lot of the lessons we'll carry forward from here didn't just come from textbooks and assignments, but from your guidance and belief in us, even on days where we didn't make it easy. I want to include a personal thank you to a few teachers who had a huge impact on me. Coach Fields, Ms. Hightower, and Coach Borgia. Coach Fields, your classes taught many of us hard work, whether or not we wanted to learn it. And Ms. Hightower, your constant positivity and good morning sugars made even the most stressful days a bit better. And Coach Cordial, you really taught me what it meant to be compassionate. To our families, thank you for the support that's been behind every step of our journey. The early mornings, late nights, encouragement, advice, and everything in between that helped get us here. Even when we didn't always show it or really understand it in the moment, we felt it every step of the way. I would like to add a personal thank you to my dad, Thank you for teaching me the values of hard work and consistency, but most importantly, generosity. And to my sisters, Jocelyn and Bronwyn, thank you for your constant support, although I spent most of our time together teasing and making fun of you two. I'd also like to give a special thank you to my girlfriend, Briley, for really keeping me on track and being in my corner. I can't thank her enough. I love you. And to her parents, Vince and Brittany, thank you for the kindness and grace you've always shown me. And Vince, thank you for never missing an opportunity to give me a hard time. James Watkins once wrote, "A river cuts through rock, not because of its power, but because of its persistence." I think this quote best describes what happens next for our class. Tonight, all of us are standing in the same place for the last time in our lives. After graduation, we'll split apart. We'll head to different colleges, have different jobs, live in different cities, and see different futures. And the truth is, none of us really know how things are going to pan out. For many of us, that's both terrifying and exciting. Life after high school is not about who had everything figured out at 18. It's about who keeps pushing. I was scrolling on my phone, like many of us do, and I saw a quote from Seth Rogen where he says, "If you don't quit, you might make it. But if you quit, you definitely won't." And sure, that may not sound like the most profound piece of advice. It may just sound like common sense. But I honestly think that's some of the best advice out there. Most people are capable of far more than they think they are. But somewhere along the way, people get comfortable or discouraged or afraid to fail publicly, so they stop trying. I hope none of us do that. I hope that when we leave here tonight, we will chase the things we care about completely. Not halfway, not only when success is guaranteed, I mean fully, with effort and most importantly, persistence. Because there is no guarantee any of us will succeed, but there is one guarantee. If we stop trying, we never will. So when we split paths after tonight, I hope we all keep going. Keep learning, keep failing, keep improving, and keep chasing the things we're passionate about. And most importantly, don't quit early, because the future belongs to the people who push long enough to reach it. Congratulations, class of 2026, and welcome to tonight's graduation ceremony.
Good evening, everyone. To the faculty, staff, family, and friends, thank you for being here to celebrate this tremendous milestone with us. To the graduating class of 2026, we've made it. For years, graduation seemed so far away, yet here we are, together one last time as classmates. When we first walked into high school, most of us had no idea what we were doing. We were worried about finding our classes, making friends, and figuring out who we wanted to become. As we graduate, we may still not have all the answers, but we have all grown in ways far beyond our education. One of the greatest lessons we learned is that there is no such thing as a perfect high school experience. None of us handled every moment flawlessly, and we definitely didn't follow the exact same path we imagined. But through every experience, we slowly became more confident in who we are and who we want to be. Over the past 4 years, all of us have taken completely different paths to reach this moment. Some of us either spend our time on the field, on the stage, in the classroom, or even working after school. We build friendships, found passions, and collected moments that will stay with us long after our hats are thrown in the air. But regardless of how different each of us were throughout high school, we all ended up in the same place, sitting together as the graduating class of 2026. That alone is a reminder that there is no single right or wrong way to succeed. Every single experience was just as important as the next and led us to where we stand today. Tonight isn't just an ending, it's also a beginning. For each of us, the next chapter will look different. Whether that means attending college, entering the workforce, serving others, or continuing to discover our paths. Whatever we do, our futures aren't something we have to predict perfectly right now. There's something we build step by step. So don't be afraid to take risks, don't be afraid to change directions, and don't measure your success by someone else's timeline. As we step into what comes next, we can remember what God reminds us in Jeremiah 29:11. not to harm you, plans to give you hope and a future. I think this verse reminds us that even though we may not know exactly what comes next, each of us has a future full of purpose and opportunity. As we enter the next chapter of our lives, I hope we remember to appreciate the people who helped us along the way. The friendships we built and the lessons we learned will stay with us forever. To the teachers and the staff, thank you for your patience, your encouragement, and for pushing us when we needed it the most. You've shaped more than our education. You've shaped who we're becoming. To our families, thank you for your support, your sacrifices, and for believing in us when we didn't even fully believe in ourselves. I want to extend a special thank you to my family. You have helped shape the person I am today, and I love you so much. And I especially want to thank my mama and daddy. From my first day of kindergarten to this moment, you two have cheered me on the whole way, and I am beyond blessed to be your daughter. I love you guys. Another special thank you to my amazing boyfriend, Jack Morin. Even though you love to rage bait me and pretend it's funny, which unfortunately sometimes it is, you've always encouraged me even more. I love you so much. I'd also like to thank Jack's family for all of your kindness. And finally, to my fellow graduates, this moment belongs to all of us. Every late night, every challenge, and every small victory led us here. We didn't get here alone, and we won't move forward alone either. As we leave here today, we take with us the experience and the courage to embrace everything that comes our way. So congratulations, class of 2026. No matter where life takes us next, we will always share this moment and everything it took to get here. We did it!
There we go. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Reading Field for the commencement ceremony for the class of 2026. Tonight is a special night for many reasons. It is a celebration of achievement, perseverance, friendships, memories, and milestones. But tonight also marks a moment of leadership transition here at Bremen High School. For the past 12 years, Dr. Tim Huff has faithfully served as principal of Bremen High School. During those years, he has led with integrity, vision, consistency, and care for students. His influence on this school and this community is lasting. And during this senior class's final year, we witnessed another important moment, the passing of that leadership torch to Mr. Whit Brown. What makes that meaningful is not simply that one leader passed the torch to another. It is that leadership is never just about one person. Great leadership multiplies itself. Great leaders invest in the next generation. Dr. Huff poured into Mr. Brown, and now Mr. Brown carries that torch of responsibility forward for the students and staff of Bremen High School. That reminds me of a quote from Dan Cathy, who said, "Succession is not about when the leader is ready to leave. It is about when the next generation is ready to lead." We are blessed in Bremen City Schools to have teachers, coaches, staff members, and administrators who lead every single day without being asked. When they see a need, they step forward. They serve quietly, they sacrifice willingly. They take personal responsibility for the greater good of this school system. But tonight, my primary message is not about adult leaders. It is about you. Tonight, graduates, I want you to hear something clearly. Leadership does not begin in adulthood. Leadership is not reserved for people with titles. It is not something that suddenly appears after graduation. It is not determined by age, position, wealth, or status. Leadership begins the moment someone chooses responsibility over convenience, the moment someone chooses courage over comfort, the moment someone chooses to make life better for the people around them. Over the years, we have seen countless examples of Bremen graduates demonstrating extraordinary leadership at young ages. Recently, a member of the class of 2025 started a nonprofit organization focused on improving medical and emergency preparedness in schools and communities. That is leadership. Another 2025 graduate spoke from this very stage last year and demonstrated to the world what unwavering faith, determination, resilience, and spirit look like in the face of adversity. That is leadership. But class of 2026, my message may not go in the direction you expected because I did not come before you tonight to challenge you to become leaders. I came to thank you for being leaders already. Why? Because we have watched you grow, not just as individuals, but as a class. Over the past 4 years, we have witnessed something closer to a metamorphosis than a simple change. And here is what your teachers, coaches, and staff consistently say about you. They say you are an incredibly kind group. They say you include others. They say you respect teachers and classmates alike. They say you do the little things right, even when no one is watching. They say you show up for one another. They say you support one another in every extracurricular activity. They say you have become an example for all underclassmen. It is said that you are the kind of class they will remember long after graduation ceremonies end. They say you balance fun with respect, and perhaps most importantly, they say you have created a culture of kindness. Class of 2026, that is leadership. Leadership is not always loud. Sometimes leadership looks like welcoming the new student. Sometimes it looks like cleaning up around the campus without being asked. Sometimes it looks like staying late after an event to clear the stage, clean the dugout, or make sure an underclassman has a ride home. Sometimes leadership looks like an injured athlete transforming from a competitor on the court to being their team's biggest encourager on the sideline. Sometimes it looks like spending your lunch period sitting beside someone who feels alone. Sometimes it looks like winning 4 state championship titles while demonstrating the utmost humility and grace. Sometimes it looks like sharing hope, joy, and faith with your classmates. And sometimes it looks like traveling across the globe on mission trips simply to serve people you may never meet again. We have seen all of that in you. And because of that, you leave behind something greater than trophies, banners, accomplishments, or statistics. You leave behind influence. You leave behind a standard. You leave behind a culture. And the students who walk these halls after you will benefit from the example you set. As I close tonight, I want to share something personal. A good friend of mine, a man of deep faith and tremendous character, is Coach Tollison. Along with many others, some may be sitting in the stands tonight, I receive a daily text message from Coach T that is filled with encouragement and promise. Almost every single one of his messages ends the same way. Spend time with people who make you better. Say it again. Spend time with people who make you better. Class of 2026, thank you for the time you have spent here at Bremen High School because you have made us better. You made this school better. You made your classmates better. You made your teachers better. You made this community better. And although tonight marks the end of one chapter, I truly believe your greatest leadership moments are still ahead of you. Congratulations, class of 2026. We are proud of you, we believe in you, and we love you.
class of 2026 has a total of 196 promising graduates prepared to take the step toward becoming productive citizens in our community. 113 members of this class have earned the status of honor graduate, with a core academic grade point average of 3.7 and above.
Eight students documented more than 300 hours of community service over the last 4 years and have earned the right to wear a red service cord. The overall numerical average of the class is a 91.5. The overall grade point average is a 3.65.
"92% of the class earned a pathway completion cord for completing 3 classes in an area approved by the Georgia Department of Education. 132 students earned a cord in career and technical education in the following areas:
Teaching as a profession, 12 students. Entrepreneurship, 20 students. Engineering and technology, 13 students. Allied healthcare, 38 students. Sports medicine, 21 students. Forensic science, 27 students. And audiovisual technology and film, 1 student.
Ten dual enrollment students at West Georgia Technical College also earned a pathways as certified nursing assistants in welding and electrical systems. In the area of fine arts, 81 students completed a pathway and earned a cord for music, drama, or art.
"87 students earned a cord in the area of world languages. 137 students earned academic pathway recognition by taking additional core academic subjects through the AP program or through dual enrollment programs.
In the fall of 2026, 78% of this graduating class plans to continue their education by attending either a college or university. Almost 10% plan to attend a technical college to earn a professional certificate or an associate's degree.
6 students have made a commitment and will be entering into the military. 5% plan to enter into full-time employment. 37 institutions of higher education will be receiving Bremen High School graduates in the fall of 2026.
"14% of BHS graduates will be attending institutions of higher education outside of the state. 71 students have taken honors courses in various concentrations throughout their high school years.
"82 students have taken advanced placement courses throughout their years of high school with curriculum approved nationally by the College Board. 113 students have earned college credit through the University of West Georgia or West Georgia Technical College through the dual enrollment program.
"29 students have received academic and/or athletic college scholarships from their chosen college for the next 4 years. The value of these scholarships is estimated to be $710,000. 158 graduates qualify for the Hope Scholarship for their freshman year of college. This totals approximately $790,000 towards tuition for Georgia colleges.
$60,000 in scholarship money has been awarded to members of the class of 2026 from 51 local community-based efforts. We are fortunate to be Bremen High School graduates, as this community has not only supported us through our high school years, but continues to support us into adulthood. For their freshman year of college, an estimate of $1,560,000 has been awarded to members of the graduating class in scholarships and grants to provide for the continuation of their education. To all of you here tonight, thank you for all you have done for us so that we may truly celebrate this milestone of our lives.
Good evening, everyone. Hello, class of 2026. I would like to read you the note I put in the yearbook for you this year. So for the last time this year, story time, boys and girls, story time. Dear Bremen High School class of 2026, you probably don't remember, but 13 years ago, I got to welcome some young kindergartners to their first days at Jones Elementary. Many of you thought I was a giant. I became known as Tall Mr. Brown. I have had the privilege of watching many of you grow from these little young elementary students to the young men and women about to walk across a graduation stage. I get to brag about being the first one to open your car doors and getting you into school, and then being the last one to shake your hand before you cross the finish line. I have seen you perform on stages, on athletic fields, and in classrooms for the past 13 years. Very few people have been blessed to get to do this for a career. Some of you have joined this group periodically through the years, but one thing you all have in common is you are about to join a very distinguished group called Bremen High Alumni. Be grateful for being part of a community like that. My advice for you as you move forward is simple but not easy. Honor and appreciate your past, the good and bad. Know your parents, teachers, and even principals are people who deal with all their own issues. Imperfect people who, whether you know it or not, are your biggest fans in life. When you are grateful for these people, then you will look at the good and the bad as blessings and learning experiences instead of entitlement or what you were owed. Live in the present, as an old coach's saying goes, be where your feet are. It is awesome to plan and have goals, but if you're not careful, you'll wish your life away. When we think radical changes are what produce big things, but actually it's small daily decisions that produce the most positive impact on our lives. The future is full of great things like college, new careers, making your own decisions, marriages, kids, houses, new adventures, heartache, disappointment, and struggles. It's called life, and it is predictably unpredictable. However, don't equate that with hopelessness and no purpose. Your future has purpose, and I can't wait to see it unfold. I love you, class of 2026. Now, Jesus is making me love some of you, but that's okay. I still love you. God bless Tall Mr. Brown. I think it's important, as we acknowledge some of your accomplishments, also to acknowledge some of the people that helped you along the way. And I want to start with a group that sometimes don't get shout-outs at graduation, but it is people who are sitting in the stands, business owners all across Bremen who give us so much to help us produce and give what we need for our schools. Local Bremen businesses advertise, they donate, they support, and are asked of constantly, and they fill in when needed so you can have the very best opportunities. As you arrive tonight, you may have noticed a new mobile display board showing the names and photos of the class of 2026. It was important for some of these people to get that here quickly for y'all. This board was purchased entirely with donations from our generous community supporters, RKR, Georgia Hydro, Caliber One Construction, Aubrey Sylvie, Chris Cartwright, James O'Neill Dodge, and Southern Drywall. BHS is fortunate to have an outstanding support from our community leaders. We will use this mobile display not just tonight, but at many school events across the community as a way to celebrate our students and to thank those who make opportunities like that possible. So seniors, as you sit here tonight about to receive your diploma, I want you to remember this. You did not walk this journey alone. Each of you has faced your own set of challenges, and some of you have overcome obstacles that would have stopped others in their tracks, but through it all, you were supported, encouraged, guided, and sometimes even corrected by people who love you. So let's take a moment and recognize them. Parents and guardians of the class of 2026, whether you raised them from birth or stepped into their lives when they needed you most, please stand now and be recognized. Your sacrifices, your sleepless nights, and your unwavering belief brought us to this moment. Educators, coaches, staff, and administrators, if you have played a role in the lives of these students from pre-K through 12th grade, please stand and be recognized. You have shaped their minds and their futures. This evening, you may have noticed many of our graduates wearing gold cords and tassels. These signify honor graduate status, awarded to those earning a cumulative academic GPA of 3.7 or higher. Honor graduates, please stand now and be recognized. You may be seated. What an incredible achievement. In addition to this, we celebrate the 80% of this class who is eligible for the Hope Scholarship. Let's look at the math on that accomplishment of earning the Zell Miller or the Hope Scholarship. If Hope is worth approximately $4,000 per year and the Zell Miller Scholarship is valued at about $10,000 per year, if each of you who earned Zell or Hope maintain those standards for the next 4 years, these scholarships are worth over $5 million. Well done, seniors. Many of you also took on the challenge of earning advanced placement or dual enrollment credits. If you earned credit while in high school, one of these credits in high school, please stand. You may be seated. Students who have completed a career or academic pathway taking 3 or more sequenced courses in a specialized area, please stand now and be recognized. Thank you. We also acknowledge those wearing various colored cords representing achievements beyond the classrooms in clubs, service, leadership, and more. If you earned a cord for activities outside of the classroom, please stand now. Thank you. You may be seated. Let's also recognize our Iron Devils, those who participated in 3 or more extracurricular activities during their time at BHS. Please stand. You have truly embraced the spirit of Bremen High School as an everything school. You may be seated. And of course, to those who reached the pinnacle of achievement by winning an individual or team state championship, if you earned a state championship as a BHS student during your 4 years here, please rise and be celebrated. You are champions in every sense of the word. Thank you. You may be seated. We'd also like to honor individual excellence. Tonight, we also honor some extraordinary individuals. Our star student, Emma Grace McGukin, who is in the top 10% of the class and earned the highest SAT score. Emma Grace, along with your star teacher, Mr. Chuck Gendrich, and your family, please stand now. Our teacher of distinction chosen by the seniors is Mr. Randy Pruitt. Tonight, he wears a gown signed by each member of the class of 2026. Coach Pruitt is an English teacher, head boys lacrosse coach, and is often mentioned as the students' favorite teachers. Coach Pruitt, please stand now. And now we proudly recognize Jack Marin as the 2026 salutatorian. Jack, would you and your family please stand and be recognized? The 2026 valedictorian is Briley Roberts. Briley. present to you Bremen High School Class of 2026. Congratulations, seniors.
I commend you, Bremen High School administration, faculty and staff, and students for this academic accomplishment. To the parents and citizens of Bremen, I salute you and thank you for making this graduation possible. We'll now have Mr. Barrow come up and certify us for tonight.
These records have been reviewed as outlined by the Bremen Board of Education's policies, and I certify that they comply with the requirements of the state of Georgia and the Cognia Accreditancy Agency. Based upon the powers vested in me by the Bremen Board of Education and this community, I do hereby authorize the release of the diplomas. Well done, class of 2026. Congratulations.
Will the graduates please come forward? Briley Grace Roberts. Jackson Alexander Morin. Kaylin Marie Braun. Carson Raymond Carr. Caitlin Michelle Cole. Marley Ann Derringer. Sophie Ann Erickson. Sophia Lane Hembry. Emma Catherine Holloman. Addie Nicole Marshall. Logan Adam McCoy. Aurora Oceana Miller. Xander Rojo Velasquez. Kirby Lee Rutledge. Hadley Marie Sparks. Conlon Sailor Braun. Michael Paul Agee. Camden Blaine Aiken. Roland Lanier Aldridge III. Audra Claire Alvers. Hayes Allen Andrews. Anna Claire Elizabeth Arp. Eukayla Leona Avery. Justin Udiel Bizabal. Hallie L. Ballinger. Aniston Britt Ballou. Max Lundy Bates. Jackson Lane Bearden. Anna Kate Bennett. Liam Bruner Bennett. Claire Elise Bentley. Michael Nathaniel Berry. Matthew James Bianchi. Remington Slade Bishop. Emma Grace Blackwood. Denisha Lene Blanks. Miley Ray Body. Ellen Camille Bohannon. Garrett Russell Bonner. Brennan Jason Booth. Barry Dale Bracknell Jr. McKinley Karma Jada Brennan. Emma Lynn Brunson. Mira Catherine Brown. Reese Ashlyn Brown. Logan Reese Camp. McKinley Sam Camp. McCoy Elizabeth Camp. Spencer Kate Camp. Anna Bell Cargill. Micah Dean Chapman. Isabella Grace Charles. Monkai Marion Clark. James Luke Clayton. Lincoln Clyde Klotfelter. Carrington Autumn Coakley. Emma Catherine Corso. Maddie Irene Cruz. Jackson Lee Crook. Alexis Valen Keaton Dabbs. Joshua Mitchell Daniel. Brady Anthony DeGenova. Elizabeth Grace Stimkowski. Emily Hope Dewberry. Kenya Sierra Dobbs. Jimmy Gadsden Dudley IV. Jackson Reed Duncan. Blake Stephen Edwards. Jalen Grace Kubicek Edwards. Joseph Hunter Ross Edwards. Madeline Ryan Edwards. Austin Parker Eubanks. Emily Elizabeth Eubanks. Francisco Alexander Fajardo. Justin Bryce Faulkner. Kristen Michelle Fears. Riley Elizabeth Foster. Clay Johnson Fuller. Molly K. Gann. Cheyenne Michelle Garrison. Federico Rafael Gonzalez Pineda. Jerry Broughton Gore. Anna Ray Graham. Charles Wesley Griffin. Samantha Lee Griffin. Dalen Mackenzie Hall. Lily Catherine Hammond. James Ryder Haynes. Zeke Maddox Haney. Micah Reed Seven Harper. Adriana Michelle Heflin. Mia Bella Hydorn. London Simone Helton. Michael Connor Helton. Avery Marie Henson. Ivana Gabrielle Zona Hicks. Casey Elizabeth Hill. Rylan Joyce Holly. Delilah Joan Hooks. Cheyenne Marie Humphreys. Megan Elizabeth Hunt. Aubriana Lynn Hyatt. Erin Rebecca Jackson. Megan Marie Jacobs. Peyton William Jett. Addison Lee Giles. Hallie Elizabeth Johnson. Logan Glenn Johnson. Madeline Grace Johnson. Savannah Joe Johnson. Jaden Christina Jones. Jayshawn Amarian Jones. Kinsley Grace Jones. Jocelyn Guadalupe Juan. Joshua Elijah Carr. Bella Brooklyn King. Lily Catherine Krasinski. Rayanna Jane Lakin. Kale Rogan Laney. Annabelle Lee Langley. Mia Mastroserio. Bo Griffin Matheson. Olivia Lane McBride. Bailey Ann Marie McComb. Juliana Eden Ward McDonald. Brayley Elizabeth McGee. Emma Grace McGukin. Haven McKenna McIntyre. Kaysen Brennan Mickle. Brian Valor Miller. Cooper Harrison Mincy. Molly Marie Moore. Zachary Allen Morgan. David Logan Morris. Lyric Neal. Brandon Curtis Newman. Addison Ann Olvey. Tylacia Rose Orr. Alina Anjali Ortiz. Braden Michael Overby. Amberly May Owens. Chase Reed Palmer. Clayton Hunter Palmer. Dia Shirag Patel. Lakshmi Mitesh Patel. Mansi Kalpesh Patel. Jagger Colt Patterson. Tatiana Nichelle Payne. Sean Mitchell Perrin. Joshua Ray Prater. Myasia Ann Prescott. Eli Shelton Prigmore. Ella Kate Pruitt. Tristan Parker Richardson. Bailey Marie Roberts. Brady Andrew Robinson. David Luke Thomas Rosamond. Seth Isaiah Santos. Emily Christine Schiffbauer. Harrison James Seastrom. Natalie Lauren Seastrom. Jacob Zane Sexton. Ethan James Schroyer. Alyssa Cheyenne Smith. Madison Rose Smith. Michaela Marie Smith. Susan Mackenzie Smith. Vance Jedediah Smith. Campbell Mark Solberg. Nolan Thomas Sosby. Cameron Alexis Stance Saunders. Savannah Lee Steffi. Madeline Elizabeth Stewart. Elijah Allen Strong. Josiah Joseph Serby. Barrett Paul Taylor. Owen Cole Thomas. Canton Charles Thompson. Keegan Ryland Tipton. Russell Odie Tollefson. Taylor Grace Truitt. Maya Grace Underwood. Shelby Nicole Underwood. Mackenzie Soleil Vaughn. Reese Presley Vaughn. Nathaniel James Venable. Savannah Rain Voiles. William Connor Waters. Elijah Lee Wheeler. Leah Marie Wheeler. Reese Nicole Wheeler. Kaylor Cole Whitley. Isabella Jaden Williams. Kane Tanner Williams. Myron Edwin Wright. Miles Nathan Zimmerman.
I think there's an Alma. There is. Ah, I see it. That's it. Oh, they can.
Please rise for the singing of the alma mater.
Bremen High, we lift our voices, your dear name to praise. Happy memories will linger of our high school ourselves and to each other, all the ages through. When our high school days are over, sad our hearts will be. Ever faithful, loyal, loving, we will be to thee. Blue and white, our high school colors, to you will be true. To ourselves and to each other, all the ages through.
You may be seated. Someone once said, there are 104 days of summer vacation, and school comes along just to end it. And the annual problem of our generation is finding a good way to spend it. Well, here we are with our last summer in front of us before we embark on a new adventure, and the question isn't just how we will spend these next couple of months, but what will we do with the time we have in front of us. Standing here tonight, it is hard to believe that this chapter is actually coming to a close. As we gather one last time as students at Bremen High School, I think back to how long we have been waiting for this moment and how fast it somehow arrived. We have been hearing about graduation since we were little kids, back when we were wearing class of 2026 shirts and sitting in classrooms wondering what high school would even be like. This day felt impossibly far away. Something that belonged to older people, not us. But somehow, here we are. Our journey here has definitely not been ordinary. Back in 6th grade, the world suddenly changed when COVID hit. For the first time, life felt uncertain. Plans changed overnight, classrooms became computer screens, and half of our class never even got to take the trip to the Charlotte Motor Speedway. At the time, we thought we were just missing a field trip, but looking back now, it was one of the first moments that taught us how quickly things can change and how important it is to appreciate the moments we do get. Then came freshman year, when we walked into the old Bremen High School for the final time. Not long after, construction fences, hard hats, and unfinished hallways became part of our everyday lives. By sophomore year, we walked into an entirely rebuilt school. In a way, I think that perfectly describes our class. While these buildings were being rebuilt around us, we were rebuilding and discovering ourselves too. Over the last 4 years, this school has given us memories that we will carry forever. Friday night lights under the stadium glow, homecoming parades through town, late night Waffle House runs after games, dances, and honestly just about every major event imaginable. And this year, after years of trying, we finally won that float contest. Of course, not everything went exactly according to plan. Earlier this year, when Grad Bash got changed from Universal Studios to Dollywood, most of y'all acted like the world was ending. But for those of us who went, we made the best out of what we were given, and somehow it turned into one of the best memories of senior years. And thanks to Mr. Brown, we all knew exactly which rides, shows, and snacks were worth it, because every single one of his reviews was somehow completely accurate. What I've realized looking back on all these moments is that the best memories are rarely the ones we plan perfectly. They're the unexpected ones. The conversations in the hallways, the laughters during class, the nights that lasted longer than they were supposed to, the small moments that did not seem important at the time, but somehow became the ones we will miss the most. As we leave here tonight, I know many of us still do not have every detail of our future figured out, and that's okay. Some of us are heading to college, some to work, some to trade schools, athletics, the militaries, or a path we may not have even imagined yet. But no matter where life takes us, I hope we carry these lessons with us. I hope we remember how to show up for one another. I hope we remember to slow down and appreciate the moment we are in. And most importantly, I hope we remember that life is not just what we accomplish, but about how we live along the way. One day, we won't remember every assignment or every test, but we will remember this. We will remember these halls, these faces, and these years that shaped us. To our teachers, families, and friends, thank you for believing in us and supporting us and helping us reach this moment. And to the class of 2026, thank you for making these years unforgettable. It has truly been the greatest honor to grow up beside you and serve as your class president. If everyone would now please stand. As we stand here together one last time as Bremen High School students, take a moment and look around. These are the people who grew up with you, the people who stood beside you through every game, every class, every high and low, and every memory in between. Tonight is the end of one chapter, but it is also the beginning of something else. So chase your dreams, take chances, be willing to get lost sometimes, make mistakes, meet new people, and wherever life takes you, never forget where you came from and the memories that brought you here. Class of 2026, you may now turn your tassels from right to left. Congratulations, graduates. Here's a quick little fun fact for y'all. We're going to be the last class to stand on that B. They're redoing the turf, so we're going to be the last class to be on that B. So with that, if everyone now, meet me at the B.